Hi, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sarah Peternell, and I'm the owner of Family Nutrition Services in Denver and the creator of the 30-day online program called Nourished and Renewed. Did you know that your liver is helpful to flush out excessive hormones from your body? Yes. So this is true, and what we often don't associate with detox is the ability of our detox pathways to get rid of unwanted or already used hormones that may be causing some problems, such as estrogen dominance or hormone imbalance. So, today's video, I'm going to be talking all about the types of foods that you can consume more of to support a healthy liver and healthy hormone balance. I'm going to be talking about cruciferous vegetables. Cruciferous vegetables are the category of foods, excuse me, that include broccoli, cauliflower, kale, Brussels sprouts, mustard greens, and so on and so forth. These are really delicious foods that oftentimes we are told not to consume too much of if we have thyroid problems, especially if we have Hashimoto's. But let me tell you a secret. You would have to eat bushels and bushels and bushels and bushels of these cruciferous vegetables in order for them to block the iodine absorption and cause more trouble for your thyroid. The reality is that we don't want to avoid these foods even if you have a thyroid condition, because consuming them in moderate amounts, mostly cooked, sometimes raw, and even sometimes fermented, the benefits far outweigh any of the harm caused by eating these types of foods. Cruciferous vegetables contain an active property. It's basically a phytonutrient, and it's called diindolylmethane. I think that's how you pronounce it, but I just like to call it DIM, D-I-M. And you'll actually see DIM listed as kind of one of those new fad kind of superfood, phytonutrient, antioxidant types of ingredients on a lot of supplement formulations, and even added to certain other types of foods like protein powders and bars, etc. So DIM is this active component that really is the powerhouse behind how cruciferous vegetables help to support your liver. So I'm going to give you some details about this. All right, so there's some research that actually has helped us to understand the ways in which DIM breaks down estrogen. Back in 2011, researchers found that supplementing with DIM helped balance estrogen levels, especially for those who had thyroid disease. And this is really important news because we actually learned that just by adding in both cruciferous vegetables and potentially adding in a daily supplement can help to boost liver and detoxification pathways to benefit a common problem that a lot of women with Hashimoto's have, and that is estrogen dominance. So if you want to learn more about some of the whys and the whats and the hows, you can go to my website, sarahpeternell.com, and go to the blog post that I have all about estrogen dominance and its relationship to Hashimoto's. But with this research from 2011, learning that DIM helps to lower the estrogen levels, especially in those with thyroid disease, DIM and cruciferous vegetables make my top list for healthy foods that you can consume for healthy hormone balance. And when we're talking about eating whole natural foods in the way, the state that Mother Nature intended, we're not talking about side effects, we're not talking about overdosing, and we're not talking about too many really like harmful situations that we can get into. We're just talking about eating some different foods, some better foods that can help you live better and feel better faster. So there's another component of a lot of healthful foods that can also be available, and it's called calcium D-Glucarate. And this is also another really good nutrient for helping to regulate estrogen metabolism in the body. And it also helps promote healthy detoxification by the liver. It can be made by our bodies, believe it or not, because it is actually a calcium salt, so our bodies can generate this calcium D-Glucarate, and it is also found in foods like some of the ones I've already been describing, as well as a variety of other foods. So DIM and CDG, or calcium D-Glucarate, are really the two most important, most helpful nutrients for anybody who's dealing with excessive estrogen, as evidenced by testing, whether it's through a serum test with your provider or a maybe functional saliva hormone test that you can get with your integrative doctor. Okay, so what basically we want to know is that a lot of times when we have stress, who doesn't have stress? What happens is we sustain hormone imbalances, and it can become very tricky in terms of how our body processes estrogen and balances estrogen with progesterone. So it's not always possible to get rid of our stressors, such as our job or our family issues or money troubles or whatever it is that's in your life that's driving you crazy. But we do need to have some sort of lifestyle measures, if you will, in terms of helping to control how stress affects our hormones. We know that stress can play a huge role in the inadequate conversion of T4 storage hormone for thyroid into the active T3 hormone that we need for energy, thermoregulation, healthy metabolism, using foods and nutrients for energy at the cellular level, etc. But also stress can allow the body to hold on to estrogen metabolites within fat cells for longer. And stress can also impair the liver in the sense that it is less able to move those estrogen metabolites through the enterohepatic vein into the colon and large intestine, where it's removed as waste. So in addition to eating cruciferous vegetables, maybe working a little bit on our stress, it's also very helpful to eat a lot of foods that are rich in fiber so that they are there in the large intestine and ready to collect and remove waste from the body. So I definitely recommend for hormone balancing, again, cruciferous vegetables and foods that are rich in DIM and CDG, the calcium D-Glucarate, but also a diet that is rich in dietary fibers to help support the removal of waste. So just kind of, boosting up the liver and boosting up the detox pathways doesn't necessarily mean that we're really getting rid of what no longer serves us, those endogenous hormones that our body creates. So the combination of lots of hydration with pure, fresh spring or filtered water, and then also a diet rich in fiber is also very helpful. So fiber, foods we tend to think of as just like gnawing on, some kind of a, yucky like fiber biscuit or something, but it doesn't have to be that way at all. Just eating a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables, gluten-free whole grains such as oats or buckwheat, amaranth, quinoa. These are all really great sources. Also starchy vegetables like sweet potatoes, regular potatoes, squashes, etc. And all of these should be, processed free and packaged as little as possible. If you're eating fresh fruits and vegetables, they really shouldn't even be in a package. But sometimes maybe you're buying them frozen, or maybe they're kind of pre-prepared from your deli or your grocery store, and that's okay too. But processing in the sense that it's turned into a bread or a cracker, that strips the food of its fiber. So also legumes, nuts, and seeds, these can also contribute to an adequate fiber amount. I get the question all the time, how much fiber should I consume? Well, for women, and especially women who are perimenopausal age, I would recommend about 40 grams of fiber per day. So that means, 5 to 10 servings of fruits and vegetables, maybe one serving of whole grains, one serving of legumes, and a handful of nuts and seeds every single day. That'll add up to about 40 for you. Now, the servings of cruciferous vegetables, you can have, even with thyroid conditions, you can have at least one serving per day. You heard me say cooked because that actually lessens some of the goitrogenic properties of cruciferous vegetables, meaning that it doesn't interfere with the thyroid as much once it's cooked. But also fermented, so like if you have cabbage, for example, that has been turned into sauerkraut, or if you have any other fermented vegetables that you like, making at home or adding to your salads, etc., that also works. And then also sometimes raw or like lightly steamed. And so this would work great for some of the greens like kohlrabi leaves or mustard greens, chard, kale, etc., where you can just kind of lightly steam them to take off some of that goitrogenic edge, if you will, and making them more easy to digest. So hopefully today's video is helpful for you with the specific foods, which are cruciferous vegetables and fiber, to help you with the assistance and the removal of excess estrogen from your body and achieve better hormone balance. So I'll be back with more videos soon, explaining lots more about hormones, hormone interactions, and my top foods. Thanks so much for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and share, and I'll be back soon. Bye.